When I was a young man, I would hire out for $1 an hour, glad to get it, do some ranch and farm work. Once in a while, we'd drive cattle. Back then, I quite often seen half a dozen riders would come running up to the cattle, screaming and hollering, trying to drive them. Curse the cattle even. Of course, that didn't work real well, so they'd get out their bull whips and whips, trying to drive them that way. And of course, that didn't work real well. And when they was working the cattle and calves, they'd get out their electric cattle prods, and they'd shove that old electric cattle prod into the cattle and calves. Kind of like a police taser, if you will, for cattle. You want to see something terrified, that's an animal that's being shocked. Be that as it may, I'm here to tell you that there's a better way. My wife is and has been a cowgirl all her life. She milked cows 9 years before I met her. And milkmaid, if you will, go get the cattle, bring them in, milk them every day, twice a day, that is. And she knows cattle, and she knows horses. Old rancher, that part-time that she's worked at for 39 years, he said she's one of the few that you can send her and another rider out, and the other extra riders only because so they can open gates a little quicker. But she can go out there and she can herd in 100, 150 head of cattle. Or she can cut one out of the herd and bring it back. And she never usually even says a word. Not even a word. She just goes out and gets it. She said, number one, the more you talk, the more it makes them nervous. Just as if somebody's around you that's saying a different language makes you nervous. Also, she said, you don't wave your arms and make them any more nervous than they already are. Because a different species is chasing them than they are. And it might be a predator. They don't know. The calmer you keep that old cow or calves, the better off it'll always be. And she said, no matter what you do, you always think like a cow. And she said, you ask yourself, what would I like? How would I like to be treated? How would I like to be treated? So, maybe, just maybe, instead of the law enforcement, which would be the Homeland Security, the CIA, FBI, State Patrol, local county cops, and the city cops, maybe, just maybe, the next time before they have an encounter with the public or anyone, maybe they should ask themselves a simple question: how would I like to be treated? And how can I keep this from escalating into something that will put someone in jail, possibly prison? McCook's Mr. Bill. I think law enforcement in general could learn an awful lot from the way my wife works cattle. Because people and cattle both want respect in their own way. Rate this film.